Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is WireDogSec back with another video for you guys. Today's video, we are in TryHackMe. This is the SOC Level 1 Legacy Learning Path Phishing Analysis Module, Phishing Prevention Room. Learn how to defend against phishing emails. Hopefully you're all ready to learn something today and excited to walk through this room together. Before we dive into it, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know every time I upload a new video to the channel. Without further delay, let's go ahead and dive into it. Task 1 Introduction. Phishing remains one of the most common and effective ways for attackers to gain initial access to target systems. To counter this, defenders can deploy a variety of tools and controls designed to protect users from malicious emails. The MITRE ATT&CK framework describes phishing for information as the attempt to trick targets into divulging information. In this room, you'll learn about various security measures organizations can implement to prevent, detect, and mitigate phishing threats. Learning objectives. Understand core email security controls, SPF, DKIM or DKIM, DMARC, and SMIME. Analyze SMTP, network traffic, and email content. Explore anti-phishing protection measures. Optional prerequisites. Cover phishing to gain an overview of phishing campaigns. Check out phishing analysis fundamentals to learn common phishing types. I understand the learning objectives and I'm ready to learn about phishing prevention. You can also check out my channel if you have any other videos related to phishing. Task number 2, Sender Policy Framework, or SPF for short. DMARC, a platform dedicated to helping organizations protect email domains from phishing, defines Sender Policy Framework, SPS, as follows. SPF is used to authenticate the sender of an email with an SPF record in place. Internet service providers can verify that email server is authorized to send email for a specific domain. An SPF record is a DNS-TXT record containing a list of IP addresses that are allowed to send email on behalf of your domain. Let's take a look at a workflow of SPF. You could take a look here. You got the sender sends email, sending org's email server, email transfer, recipient, email server. And then on this is published SPF records, sending org's DNS server, sender ID framework, SPF record lookup, authentication, reputation, the database, recipient's inbox, and rejected, marked failed email as spam. Okay. And we click out of this. So in essence, when an email is sent, the receiving mail server checks the domain's SPF record to verify whether the sending server is authorized to send messages on behalf of that domain. The delivery of the mail intended action is based on the result of the SPF record verification. So you have verification result and intended action, pass, neutral, none, accept, allow, and process the email, soft fail, perm error, flag, mark as suspicious but allow, fail, temp error, reject, immediately discard the email. SPF records. Let's take a look at a sample SPF record and break down its format. Further information on SPF record syntax can be found here. So this is the format, what it looks like. D equals SPF1, the IP4, and then the IP address include spf.google.com-all and explains everything here. So the first part signifies the start of the SPF record. The IP specifies which IP can send mail IPF or IPv4 in this case, and then include specifies which domain can send email, and then dash all non-authorized emails will be rejected. Tools. The SPF surveyor tool from DMARC enables us to gain a visual look at DNS records. It also ensures the record uses the correct syntax. Let's take a look at TryHackMe's SPF record as an example, and this is what it looks like here. Okay, looks like they're on a HubSpot email. You can notice that no IP addresses are visibly present in the main record, but 3 domains are listed. In this case, all IP addresses authorized by the domains will be recognized as legitimate senders. Okay, we have some more here, spf.google.com, email.chargeb.com, then you have this one that says hubspotemail.net, Google Admin Toolbox message header allows you to analyze delivery details using an email's full header. It shows various record results, including SPF. Check out the example below, which shows the SPF record as soft fail with IP unknown. A soft fail means the sender or sending mail server is not listed as an authorized sender, but the receiving sender or server will still accept the email and flag it as suspicious. In this case, the sending IP addresses cannot be verified. Okay, and we can see that here. SPF soft fill with IP unknown. Okay, question time. Based on TryHackMe's SPF record above, how many domains are authorized to send email on its behalf? Okay, so let's take a look here. And it looks like 3 will be the answer for that. What is the intended action of an email that returns soft fail verification result? And we can see that, I think that was in that chart, right? Soft fail, intended action flag. So marks it as suspicious. And task number 3, domain keys identified mail, or DKIM for short. DKIM is as follows. DKIM stands for domain keys identified mail and is used for authentication of an email that's being sent. Like SPF, DKIM is an open standard for email authentication that is used for DMARC alignment. A DKIM record exists in the DNS, but it is more complex than SPF. DKIM's advantage is that it can survive forwarding, which makes it superior to SPF and a foundation for securing your email. Having a look at the workflow diagram for DKIM. So you have the public key for DKIM, DNS server, retrieve public key, you have email server there, private DKIM, key signed, you have the private public key match, and then it goes to the recipient's inbox, and I'm pretty sure it's going to explain that here. Let's break it down. When an email is sent, the sending server uses a private key to add a digital signature to the email. The receiving server retrieves the public key from the domain's DKIM record to verify that the message truly came from the domain. If the signatures matches, the email is authentic. Otherwise, it may be flagged or rejected. DKIM records. Here is an example of a DKIM record along with its components. So something a little bit similar to what we saw earlier, right? Except obviously it's going to be a different format because it's using DKIM. So V equals DKIM1, K equals RSA, then the P equals public key. And the first part here, the V equals specifies the version of DKIM being used, optional. K equals the key type, the RSA encryption algorithm is standard, and the P equals this is the public key that will be matched to the private key to verify the DKIM signature. Note, DKIM records formats vary and may include other tags depending on the mail provider or implementation. DMARC has some great resources if you wish to learn about DKIM. You can also check out their DKIM record checker and validator. Sample spam email header. The image below is a snippet of an email header that was marked as spam with DKIM. Result of perm error, indicating a permanent failure in DKIM verification. This could be the result of an invalid signature, a missing or incorrect DNS record, a forwarding server making a modification, or a misconfiguration in DKIM setup. So we can see that here, DKIM equals perm error. A variety of things can contribute to this particular issue. All right, question time. Based on the sample header above, what is the reason for the perm error? And it says it right there, no key for signature. So that's what I'm going to go with. And there we go. Now let's go to task number 4. The domain-based message authentication reporting in conformance, which is DMARC. It says DMARC, an open source standard, uses a concept called alignment to tie the result of 2 other open source standards. SPF, a published list of servers that are authorized to send email on behalf of a domain, and DKIM, a tamper evident domain seal associated with a piece of email to the content of an email. This means that DMARC ensures the sender's domain matches the domains verified by SPF and DKIM. If the alignment fails, DMARC instructs the recipient server on how to handle the email based on a policy specified in the record. So you have DMARC records. Here's a breakdown of DMARC record and its components. So the V equals DMARC1, the version of DMARC required. P equals quarantine, the DMARC policy. Quarantine equals move to spam folder. And then RUA equals an optional tag. In this case, aggregate reports will be sent to the email specified. Here is some further reading about DMARC records if you're interested in learning more. Domain Checker, another great tool about or by DMARCian that inspects DMARC, SPF, and DKIM records to identify any issues. Let's try it out. Microsoft.com. And this tool is the domain checker, right, as we see right there. In the screenshot below, you can see that Microsoft.com passed all the checks. Clicking on the details will allow you to examine each record and policy more closely, as shown in the record below. All emails that fail the DMARC check will be rejected based on P equals reject policy tag. Interesting there. We can see all the information here. It says, well done, if valid DMARC record, yada, yada, yada. Then down here, it has the details of everything here. So everything checks out. Question time. Which DMARC policy provides the greatest amount of protection by blocking emails that fail the DMARC check? Okay, so let's just scroll back up here. It's probably going to be like reject or something. P equals reject is what we're looking for here. Make sure to have that in there, because if you just have reject, it's not going to accept it. Okay, we can see P equals reject in this as well. And it's probably going to be referenced in other places. There's that other site that you can go to look at here. So there's an explanation of it right there. P equals reject. And let's continue on to task number 5. Secure multipurpose internet mail extensions, or SMIME. SMIME is a standard protocol for sending digitally signed and encrypted messages. The two main components and security features of SMIME are digital signatures. Authentication confirms the sender's identity through their digital certificate. Non-repudiation ensures the sender cannot deny sending the message. Data integrity detects any changes to the message after it's signed. Encryption confidentiality keeps the content private and readable only by the intended recipient. Then data integrity detects any changes during message transmission. Using public key cryptography, SMIME guarantees data integrity and non-repudiation. If Bob wishes to use SMIME, then he'll need a digital certificate. This digital certificate will contain his public key. With this digital certificate, Bob can sign the email message with his private key. Mary can then decrypt Bob's message with Bob's public key. Mary will do the same and send her certificate to Bob. And when she replies to his email, and Bob will complete the same process on his end, Bob and Mary will now have each other's certificates for future correspondence. Check out the graphic below for a visual representation of how public key cryptography works. And as it was already explained, you got Bob, plain text, Bob's private key, encrypted email, ciphertext, okay, and then Bob's public key to decrypt that into plain text to Mary so she could read it. All right, she's going to be using that Bob's public key to do that as explained up here. All right. Question time. Which SMIME component ensures that only the intended recipient can read the contents of an email? Hey everybody, this is WireDogSec. Just a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Once you hit the notification bell, be sure to set to all notifications so you know every time I post to the channel, upload a video, all that good stuff. Let's continue to grow our glorious community here. We are in the cyber trenches. We're not just reporting on it. Be sure to check out my channel as well. I have tons of videos that you can see here, over 300 videos ready for you to check out and learn something from. Be sure to review my posts. I'm frequently posting new things to my channel here, including jobs and everything related to that. Also, I have tons of playlists here that you can review, make it more convenient for you. Anyway, happy defending, happy hacking, enjoy the video. And encryption is going to be what we're looking for here. I mean, it's pretty much the definition of encryption, making it unreadable to unauthorized parties. So there we go with that one. There's also a hint here if you want to check that out. Task number 6, analyzing SMTP responses. And we have a machine here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start this. In this task, you will analyze a PCAP file with SMTP traffic. Some familiarity with traffic analysis using Wireshark will be helpful, as well as knowledge of SMTP Wireshark filters and status codes. And there's links to those, I'm assuming. Go ahead and deploy the machine attached to this task. It will appear in a split screen view when it's ready. Then open the traffic.pcat file on your desktop to begin your examination. Okay. And we got questions here. So go ahead and fire off this machine and try to answer these questions yourself. And then come back to the video and we'll step through it together. You can also look at my channel for anything related to Wireshark. I have videos on Wireshark. Which Wireshark filter can you use to narrow down your results based on SMTP response codes. Well, if you go and jump over to the Wireshark link they had in there, has a bunch of different field names and stuff you can use, display filter information here. If you go down here, you'll see SMTP response.code. That's one appears to be what we're looking for, so plug that in as your answer. Next one, how many packets in the capture contain SMTP response codes 2020 service ready? So let's jump into the VM. We're going to double click on the PCAP file. It'll load it up for us. And we're going to need to grab this filter here. Okay. And we're going to put equals to 2020. Enter. And it's pulling back that response code. Okay. And we see down here displayed 19. So that's going to be our answer there. One SMTP response indicates that an email was blocked by spamhouse or spamhouse.org. What response code did the server return? So for this one, we can do is we can try to just look for SMTP traffic. After that, we can already see there's stuff that says blocked, 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 whatever. Okay. And you're scrolling through here, you can see this packet in particular here that has this code inside of here, 553, email blocked using spamhouse. And you can click these drop downs in here as well to see some more information. Okay, requested action not taken, mailbox not allowed, 553. So that's going to be two of our answers here. The first one here is going to be this 553 for email was blocked. And the next one's going to be requested action not taken, as we just saw here in this drop down. Okay, so 553 and then the response code, response action, or requested action not taken, mailbox name not allowed, 553. So we got both of those. And the last one here, search for response code 552. How many messages were blocked for presenting potential security issues? So that's one's pretty straightforward. We'll click this X here, and we're going to click this drop down. I'm going to go back and just basically just reference it. Okay, equals 552. Hit enter, come back, and you can see that there's a total of displayed 6 for our answer there. So we're doing that task. Task number 7, inspecting emails and attachments. In this task, you'll move beyond SMTP status codes and responses and begin analyzing SMTP traffic using the same traffic capture from the task above. You will utilize the Internet Message Format IMF to examine the inner details of emails such as sender and recipient fields, content type, and attachment. So we'll probably have to reference this. Just may as well just get it pulled up. And once again, we have questions here, so go through and try to answer these yourself. Then come back to the video and we'll go through it together. How many SMTP packets are available for analysis? Well, let's jump over to our VM. Display filter up here, we're going to type in SMTP, hit enter. Down here, displayed 512. Going to be our answer right there. What is the name of the attachment in packet 270? So let's go down to packet number 270. There we have it. Okay, and we're going to right click here. We're going to go to follow TCP stream. Now inside of here, you're going to go through, look through all this information here until you get down to where it has the file name equals document.zip. So that's going to be our answer there. According to the message in packet 270, which host IP is not responding, making the message undeliverable. So scroll back up a little bit, you'll come across that information. Here, your message was not delivered within 5 days. Host to 12.256. Yada 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 is not responding. So that's going to be our answer for that one. Next one, by filtering for IMF, which email client was used to send message containing the attachment attachment.scr. All right, so let's X out of this. We got this here. I'm going to type in IMF, hit enter. There's only a handful of ones in here. You can also reference this cheat sheet or whatever they have here. Okay. But anyway, so type IMF and then you're going to review these. You can also hit Control F inside of Wireshark and you can look for strings. So I'm going to paste this in here to look for the string. And I'm going to change this to packet details. Okay. It's going to go down and search through these packets and found one. Okay. And we can see in this area here, attachment.scr. So we're going to do the same thing. Right click it, follow TCP stream. It's going to bring up some more information for us. And you can see XMailer listed here. And it's going to be this Microsoft Outlook Express 6 dot, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So plug that in as our answer. Last one, which type of encoding is used for this potentially malicious attachment? So scroll down a little bit where it talks about encoding stuff. And you can see content transfer encoding base 64 right there. It's going to be our answer. So we're done with that one. Task number 8, how organizations stop phishing. Now that you've explored how emails are authenticated through mechanisms like SPF, DKIM, and DMARC, and analyzed real SMTP traffic and message contents, let's explore some modern solutions that enhance email security and reduce phishing risk. Technical defenses. Modern email systems employ various technical controls to help detect and block phishing messages before they reach users. So you have email filtering, provides filtering based on IP and domain reputation, allowing for blocking and quarantining of suspicious messages. Secure email gateways. Scan messages to detect impersonation attempts, spoofing, and other phishing techniques that other filters might miss. Link rewriting replaces suspicious or unknown URLs with safe, redirected ones, giving the system time to scan and verify the link. And then sandboxing isolates and tests suspicious links and attachments in a secure virtual environment to check for malicious behavior. Now, secure email gateways, the well-known one out there is Proofpoint, and it can pretty much do all this here. It does all this. I've used it various times. It works very, very well. It's probably the top dog in the email security solution space right now. I think the other one that comes close to it is probably Mimecast. But anyway, just know that Proofpoint's well known, and you can do all this stuff here. All right. User-facing tools and training. Even with strong technical defenses in place, some phishing emails will inevitably reach users. Giving users clear visual cues and education is essential. Trust and warning indicators. Modern email platforms display visual cues to help users understand if a message is safe. A banner may read external sender or suspicious link or signify that a message is from a trusted organization or sender. Yes, I've seen this at several organizations. It'll have external sender or sent from external or just external on there to let the end user know, like, hey, you might want to pay closer attention to this. Phishing reporting. Easy and email reporting options that let users quickly report suspicious messages. Proofpoint has this as well, has the report button or report spam button or whatever you want to call it. Users can just go in, click on an email or right click on the email and then click on report phish or whatever, and it'll send that off to the appropriate area, specifically probably to their cybersecurity team to investigate, right? So it's going to go off into that suspicious email mailbox or phishing email mailbox for further investigation by the cybersecurity analyst. All right, user awareness training. Train employees on identifying phishing attempts, social engineering tactics, and safe email practices. Phishing simulation exercises. Run controlled phishing campaigns to test and reinforce employee training. Once again, Proofpoint can do this, as well as KnowBe4 is another vendor that does these phishing simulation exercises. So we can click on this to get a bigger picture of what they're talking about here. So various different warnings and cues and whatnot. Be careful with this message. Message was sent from outside the company, et cetera, et cetera. So you'll probably come across this at some point in your career. Question time. A security team wants to implement a control to detect hidden malware inside email attachments. They need a way to analyze suspicious files without risking infection on real systems. Which protective technique would allow them to observe a file behavior safely? Well, that sounds like a sandbox or sandboxing. Okay, so we're going to just copy and paste this in there. Okay, task number 9, conclusion. In this room, you explored how technologies like SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and SMIME work together to authenticate email and protect users against phishing. You then learn how to interpret SMTP response codes and analyze SMTP traffic to understand how email servers handle messages. Finally, you examine the tools and techniques or technologies organizations use to detect and prevent phishing attempts combined with user-focused awareness and reporting mechanisms. Explore the rooms below to expand your understanding of phishing. Check out the phishing emails in action or check out my channel for a video on that. Just to learn about investigating suspicious emails, cover phishing analysis tools for an overview of tools available for email investigation, or you can check out my channel for a video related to that. Complete the room and continue your cyber learning journey. So we are done. Awesome. Thank you for tagging along. Hopefully you followed along, took some notes, and got some good information. If you did and you want to help support the channel, Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know every time I post to the channel. As always, thank you all for taking the time to watch my video. Have a nice day, and I will see you later.